There are only 6 days until the Georgia Bulldogs play meaningful football again. That's coming against the Oregon Ducks in Atlanta, September 3rd. We're 6 days away from that. It's Sunday. Week 0 is coming to a close this weekend. Week 1 starts back up in a few days. There's better college football games coming on Thursday night. You'll see former Georgia quarterback JT Daniels. But this season started a while ago. But now we're going to finally get to see some real football action where teams play against each other. To me, this season started a while ago during the spring, I think. And the celebrating has not stopped here in Athens as far as that national championship for Georgia last season goes. I want to take a few minutes to relive some of those moments one last time before we completely focus on 2022. Kirby Smart's not in the business of reliving those moments, but I'm going to do that here. I want to just run through because I was talking to someone the other day, actually on the phone yesterday, I was talking to someone about this and with one of my buddies, and we both agreed. 2021 was special in so many ways for Georgia. There were so many moments throughout the entire season. I have some of them flashing behind me there on the screen. Some of those really special moments that just made it an incredible season for the Georgia Bulldog football program, for the university and the city in general. It was a special year. That's the best way to put it. Elite is not what I'd call it. That was an elite team. That was definitely defense. But I would call it a special team full of special people who put together a special season. Don't get me wrong. I think they're going to be really good again in 2022 for this campaign. I think it's going to be a really, really good year for the Georgia football program again. But man, some of those special things they did last year, I don't know if they're going to be repeated. I want to run through some of that. Ryan Curley from Dog Post here talking about how special the year last year was for Georgia. Some of the ways they might be able to make this year special, and let's just relive some of those moments one last time on this channel, at least through my voice. Trust me, I'm completely focused on 2022. Don't get me wrong. My focus is on covering this current team, but I want to relive that. I think this is the perfect time to do it. All right, less than a week to go. Make sure you're picking up DAWGSTRUCTION, our insider book. You see it behind me too. It's going to help me relive some of those moments, actually. I'll show you some of the images. I know we talk about DAWGSTRUCTION a lot, but it really is. It was a special book that the Dog Post crew put together about a special season. And make sure you're looking at the Insider Preview magazine. Those links are down below. You start out with that Clemson game. It'll roll up here in a second. Defensive battle. They swarm DJU, and the pick six is the only touchdown, the Christopher Smith pick six. So let's talk about some of this season for Georgia started with a pick six and ended with a pick six. All right, that was their first and last touchdown of the season was an interception return for a touchdown. All sorts of freshmen played really well. The generational defense you had. The story with Stetson Bennett, which really was like a real-life Rudy type story. When you look at it, there probably will be some sort of documentary about Stetson Bennett the other day. And there already is a documentary, and you guys know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about You're the Dog. So, I mean, just looking at some of that, the next special thing that happened was Stetson's 5-touchdown game, where he threw for over 200 yards in the first half. He was super efficient. They destroyed UAB. That was the first taste of what Brock Bowers really was with that straight line speed. You can go through all season and find all of these moments. Let's fast forward, and I'll even fast forward past most of the regular season, right? But that noon kick against Arkansas where they demolished them 37-0, that was one of those special moments. I'm not even going to talk about that much. You know how special that was. I've used the word special like 50 times in this video. I'll find something else. The Charleston Southern game, so the last home game for Georgia, senior day, Jordan Davis rushing touchdown. Jordan Davis, he was an icon for Georgia football. There's a reason why the Jordan Davis for Heisman hype, that was a real thing there for a minute. People were pushing to get him to New York. And this picture of him with the marching band, I mean, my parents were at the game, and I told them when he scored that touchdown, I was like, you guys should stick around. I don't think this is a game you should leave early for. Something special is going on. I use it again. All right, you could definitely make a game out of how many times I've said the word special in this video. But that day was just unreal to me. I mean, that was, I think, the most fun I had at a home game last season was against Charleston Southern. Because after the game, I was tasked with chasing Kirby around like with a camera, and you know, because we take the videos of them running around after the game. So I was chasing Kirby around, and all of a sudden Kirby's like, okay, we got to head over there, and all of a sudden people are just swarming towards the marching band. I was like, what is going on? I had no idea what was going on because it wasn't. It was only partially planned. The whole redcoat thing. That wasn't a public invite. I didn't even know that was going to happen. And all of a sudden I see what's going on. I bolt over there. I get under there. And Jordan Davis is conducting the marching band, and they name him an honorary member. And I mean, that is crazy to me. It was crazy to me. Great shot by Dean there. To me, I hope that's okay if you hear those sirens in the background. That day was incredible. It really was. And then you flash forward, you lose to Alabama again. All of the drama in the SEC championship. You lose to Alabama. Georgia loses to Alabama again. Can they do it? All the storylines. Is Stetson Bennett good enough? Is Kirby Smart and Georgia ever going to be able to get over the hump against Alabama, their big brother, Saban's former employer in Nick Saban? Can they do it? All right, that was the question. They make the playoff anyway. All right, they're the 3 seed. And then they just demolished Michigan. And you knew that there was something. They weren't done yet. All right, they weren't done yet. Nakobe Dean, I'll never forget the way Nakobe Dean answered questions in the post-game press conference, the Orange Bowl, which was on Zoom at the time. I really hope that we don't have much more Zoom. I'm knocking on wood. But you just could tell. You could tell. They were on a mission. Get to Alabama, there's a rematch. Oh, how special is that? They play twice in 1 year. There's a rematch. Georgia's got another chance. And they do it. It was a tough game. It was a very tough first half. And then, Stetson Bennett and the offense made the right plays at the right time, and Keely Ringo capped it off with one of those pick sixes that are in the picture back there. And it was electric. All right, I was there, and I'm sure at least a handful of you guys were there too. It was electric. Okay, you know, when you went on the field, the emotions on everybody, the emotions for everybody were just sky high. Stetson's crying. I even teared up a little bit. You guys know that I come on here and I'm trying to give you a really unbiased look. This is a different type of video, but I'm trying to give the truth. I'm on here to talk. I'm trying to keep it real with you guys when it comes to Georgia football. And a lot of the times that's positive because how good of a program they are. It is going to be negative sometimes. I definitely had some negative thoughts about them at points last year, but I come on and I try to keep it real. So I'll admit, I cried at the game, all right? Because I am a student at the University of Georgia. I cried. That was because it was so special. They did it, and they did it against Alabama, Kirby Smart's first national championship. And to drive all that home, what would they be able to do in 2022 to make it another special season? To me, there are two things that didn't happen last year that would make like a 2022 championship. If they were to win the national championship in 2022, I don't know if that's going to happen. I think they're contenders. But to me, there's two things that they were missing from last year. One, an undefeated season, which doesn't matter in the long run because they did win the national championship. And the other thing is a Heisman Trophy winner. Now, I really wouldn't predict the Heisman Trophy to come to Athens. I don't think that they're going to play a style of football to where one player is that spectacular statistically. I think there's a lot of people on this offense that are going to get fed, and I think that's going to dilute some of their stats, which is totally fine as long as they're winning, right? Because that's the point. But those are the two things to me that I think would make it another championship run special in a unique way. Because, man, I think 2021 is hard to top. That's an all-time year in Athens. That's the best year all time in Athens. It is. I know the 1980 championship season was special with Herschel Walker and that Heisman Trophy winner. But the way things went down for Georgia in 2021 was unique and spectacular, really. That's my point. I wanted to relive some of those moments with you guys one more time before. 100% focus is on Oregon and covering that game for you guys. You know we're going to have all that coverage on dogpost.com, all of our social channels. Just look up Dog Post anywhere, and you're going to find us. You're going to find us, and we're going to be giving you all of the videos and the stories and the images we possibly can about Georgia in 2022. So make sure you're checking it out, and make sure you're checking out DAWGSTRUCTION. Links are down below, guys, and I'll see you there.